Did Google and Yahoo just murder cold email in 2024? I hope not, because this channel is Now, there are some serious changes coming down the pipeline for email marketers and cold email marketers. But if you watch this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to survive the 2024 cold email apocalypse. And this includes a massive change that was just updated in the last week. Now, if you haven't heard yet, Google and Yahoo both announced massive changes coming in February of 2024. And the last one on the list is terrifying email marketers and cold email marketers. Now, the first update was just reinforcing authentication and validation for all domains that are sending email. This means that all domains need to have a DKIM and a DMARC record attached. Whereas before, this was just recommended, now these are going to go to spam and get blacklisted. The second announcement was a mandatory one-click unsubscribe. So in the past, email marketers would say, reply stop or halt to opt out, and then they would manually take them out of the list. Now they need that one-click unsubscribe link to stay out of the email doghouse. Now this third thing is what had me in a full-on panic attack and is terrifying email marketers everywhere. And that is their new spam rate threshold. So in the past, there was this unknown number of how many emails needed to be marked as spam before that sending domain and sending account was considered a spammy one and was blacklisted and emails started to go to spam. Now they've announced a new threshold for 2024, and that threshold is terrifying. It is 0.3%. That means that if 3 out of 1,000 emails being sent were marked as spam, that email sender and email domain can go to the cold email doghouse. And what the doghouse means is that they could be blacklisted. These emails could start going to the spam box. These emails could start showing up with a big warning flag. You do not want to be in the email doghouse. And this spam rate threshold is insanely low. When I email my list who have opted in, I typically get a spam rate higher than 0.3%. Most businesses do. So this is terrifying a lot of people. But don't worry, I'm going to show you how to get around everything. Now, before I show you the secrets to not ending up in the email doghouse, you need to understand the reason that they're doing these updates and who it's going to affect. And to explain that, I really want to break email marketing down into 3 separate categories of email marketers. The first one is what all businesses do. They have a list of contacts who have opted in or done business with them or booked a call or downloaded an ebook or opted in for a 10% discount on an e-com store. These are general businesses sending out promotions and marketing emails to their opted in warm list. So this is going to affect all of us. So if you watch to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid ending up in the doghouse if you're doing general email marketing, because that is honestly the worst case scenario in my mind. That means our primary domain that we use to contact our list is going to be blacklisted. This is a nightmare scenario. So you need to learn how to circumvent this and what to do. All right, so the second type of email marketers are B2B cold emailers. This is what I teach in my course. This is when you get a list of businesses, business owners that are genuinely interested in what it is that you have to sell, whether that be a software product or a service, and then you send them a cold email with a targeted message. It's going to the right person, and you're generally helping them solve a problem or give them some valuable resource so that they can use it to solve their problem. This form of marketing has been around for decades. It's generally accepted as a good form of marketing. It's used by companies like Salesforce and other Fortune 500 companies. And yes, B2B cold emailers will also be affected, and I'll get into that in just a second. Now, the reason for this update is the third type of cold email marketer, and that is B2C cold email marketers, or as I like to call them, spammers. These are companies that have figured out that you can send emails for almost no money. So they download lists of millions of contacts. Sometimes they buy these lists, sometimes they get them from databases, sometimes they scrape them. And then they send millions of emails to B2C clients trying to sell products or trying to sell low-ticket services. And wouldn't you know it, if you send 1 million emails to somebody, 100 people are going to bite on it. It's just a numbers game. But the result of that is a lot of spam for personal email users. Now, unlike B2B cold email, B2C spammers are just playing the numbers game. They're sending millions and millions of emails in hopes that some of the arrows will land. So the coming updates from Google and Yahoo are really being released to target email type number 3, but that does not mean that the rest of us are out of the woods. So here's a few steps that you need to follow if you're a cold email marketer to stay out of the doghouse and stay safe with these new updates. The first and obvious thing is do not send emails to personal emails. If their email ends in an @gmail.com or @yahoo.com, take them out of your lists and do not send them any more marketing emails if they have not opted in. You can do this really simply in Google or Excel, create a data filter, and then just eliminate anything that ends in @Gmail or @Yahoo. And boom, your problem solved. Get rid of these people and you're likely to stay on the safe side. If you mess this up and you do send emails to personal emails, all it takes is 3 out of 1,000, marking you as spam. And now that sender account and domain is going to be burned. Now, if you're using a B2B database to get your emails like Apollo or ZoomInfo, typically this is not going to be a problem. They will typically only give you B2B emails. All right, the second tip is make sure your domains are properly authenticated and make sure that you're using an unsubscribe link. This is the easy win that you can implement that's going to keep your email senders safe. So what does this mean? For all of the domains that you're using to send cold email or any email, you need to have a DKIM record, you need to have a DMARC record, and you need to have a custom tracking domain when you're sending these emails. If that just got very confusing for you, I have a full course on email deliverability where I go over the technical aspects of setting all this up, where I break it down and make it nice and simple. I won't do that in this video because it's beyond the scope. But if you don't want to watch that video, go to easydmarc.com. They have tutorials and free tools where you can use to set up DKIMs and DMARC records. All right, the third thing that you need to do is use a good warm-up tool for all of your email senders. A tool like Instantly AI, SmartLead, or Warmy.io should be used on all of your email sending accounts. This is going to train the Google servers, the Yahoo servers, the Office servers, that your email is sending good emails where people are not marking it as spam. They're marking it as important. They're replying. And the more warm-ups you do, the more emails that need to be marked as spam in order for you to get in trouble. So right now I'm actually running some tests where I'm cranking my warming numbers up to 1,000 warming emails per day, just to see how that affects all of the deliverability, and hopefully it protects me in the future. Number 4, use general good email practices. Personalize your emails. Use their name, their company name, their industry. Add some AI in there to make sure that the industry name is cleaned, and add their competitor name or something like that. You can do this really easily in Instantly AI. Make sure to clean your list. Run it through Million Verifier. Make sure they're not bouncing. Make sure you're only emailing good verified email addresses. And if you're using a B2B database like Apollo, keep your filters really narrow. If your filters are narrow, the chances of you emailing somebody that you intended to email are going to be much higher. Fifth thing you need to do, use lead magnets. I've got an entire course on developing and implementing lead magnets. It's totally free. I'm going to link it down below. If you're giving them real value, chances of them reporting you as spam are slim to none. In fact, we've ran this test over and over in our company, almost a 0% spam rate if we're sending valuable information or valuable lead magnets to people that we intend to receive those. All right, the last one, and this one might be controversial, stop using G Suite and Google accounts for cold email. This is not the first signal that Google does not want cold email to happen. They tried to stop warming earlier in 2023. Now they're trying to stop cold email in 2024. Google has made it abundantly clear that they don't like cold email and they do not want to support it going forward. Use Microsoft Office to set up your cold email addresses. I've had way less problems with them. It's actually more affordable and easier to scale up. Just use Office. Go away from Google. All right, so what does this mean for everybody else who runs a company that does marketing blasts? Are we all going to do our first marketing blast in February 2024 and now all of our primary domains are blacklisted and in the email doghouse? No, but we all need to do better, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. First of all, we all have personal emails opted into our lists. Even if we sell B2B, typically those people who are opting in don't always use their business email addresses. They'll use their personal email addresses to opt in. I do the same thing sometimes. So we need to be extra careful. So the number one thing that you need to avoid if you send emails for marketing, promos, newsletters, I don't care, avoid doing this. Do not send marketing emails to people who have opted out even once. A common thing that companies do, and this is bad practice, is somebody opts out of one list, so the company will put them in another list and email them from that list. This is no longer tolerated. If this happens, you're going to end up in the doghouse, which we cannot do. Someone opts out once, never send them an email again. Simple as that. Another practice that I've implemented in all of my companies is double opt-in. A double opt-in is when you sign up for somebody's list. Maybe you're signing up for a coupon or a lead magnet, and I give them my email address. Now I get an email from them saying, you need to click this button to confirm your subscription. By doing that, you're signaling to the email servers that that person is physically opting in. They're confirming their subscription to your email. So even if they mark you as spam in the next email you send them because they're an asshole, you're going to be okay and you're going to stay out of the the doghouse. They're also going to remember that they opted into your list because you had a double opt-in and they physically confirmed it, which leads me into my next piece of advice. People forgetting that they opted in is a common culprit of spam reports. So if I opt in for something and a year later that company sends me their first email and it's a marketing promo and I don't remember who they are and they didn't have a double opt-in, I'm reporting that thing as spam. So how do you avoid that? One, you keep your list engaged. Send them emails every 2 weeks. Hopefully keep them valuable, keep them strong. And if you're sending marketing emails, make them good marketing emails. If they hear from you a lot, they're likely to know who you are and just unsubscribe instead of marking you as spam. There's also some basic best practice things that you need to do, like continuing to keep your email clean. I use a tool called Everclean to do that. It's synced with my ActiveCampaign and it cleans my list every single day. Okay, so the good news is that Google and Yahoo are not trying to attack B2B cold email or email marketing in general. What they're trying to do is protect personal email users from unwanted spam. And this is respectable. I commend that and I support it. So as long as we play by their rules, we'll be perfectly fine. And even if we don't, Google and Yahoo only account for about 30% of total email addresses. Just kidding, play by the rules, it is simple enough. If you want to learn how to get even more from your cold email campaigns and your email marketing campaigns, I'm talking about 20% reply rates and scaling your cold email campaigns up to 1,000 senders. You need to be subscribed to this channel and you need to grab my free cold email course linked down below. If you opt in, you also get 8 million free leads to start emailing. Admittedly, a lot of these are personal emails, so make sure that you clean them and remove the personal ones before you start emailing them. And if you found this video helpful and you want to see more updates like this, make sure to like the video so that YouTube recommends more like this. And if you're not already subscribed, you're letting your competition get an edge on you, so subscribe right now and hit that bell notification.